in my room, I miss you with the tone. I built myself on the internet just to save you. I'm in my room. Don't blink. Oh. Don't blink. It's your boy, Yang Culture Show. I think I'm having a wonderful day on this glorious, and I do mean glorious, 15th August 2025. Today we had the Festival de la Chine, which is pretty freaking cool if you ask me. So I have to do a couple of videos, which hopefully will take me about 20 minutes, and then we're gonna go. There's a spectacle. There's a show. So it should be fun to see, and if anything, gonna have a good time. Anyway, I love you guys. Take it easy. Peace. Don't blink, it's your boy, Quick Culture Show. Continuing walks to having a wonderful day on this glorious 16th August 2025. Today we're doing a short review of a product, which means we're going to try to do a short and try to review a product at the same time. It is a gorgeous day outside, but it's hot, so we're drinking something that is a bit cooler, and we're drinking Faygo Bubble Pop. So, fun story, I taste a lot of Faygo, didn't taste this one. There's a whole story behind the Faygo, which is a brand I want to try when we start making content. I want to do something different. So bubble gum, I don't know what it tastes like. Not a big fan of bubble gum. Not a big fan of cream soda. The smell is actually really nice. It's actually really reminiscent of bubble gum. And this is not my first one. We had Soda Pop. Soda Pop had the bubble gum flavor. So this is my second soda, bubble gum soda. The design is actually quite nice. Real men, none of it pink. However, every single pink drink made me think about the Pepto Bismol. Yeah, the taste is good. The flavor is there. It does taste like bubble gum, but there's a very heavy taste of cream soda. And it's actually pretty nice because compared to other, yeah, we tasted, this one feels a bit more gasified. Feel like it's a bit more carbo CO2. Taste is good. Am I tasting the bubble gum? Yes. It's nuts because the bubblegum flavor is actually pretty much very, very intense, very, very there. However, if you didn't tell me there was bubblegum, I don't know. It's quite nice. It's quite nice. Yeah, it's exactly what you think it is. It's a soda. It tastes bubblegum. What was I trying to say is, I don't know if Soda Pop does something better than other people. I don't know if it does it super different, but the taste and the product itself is amazing. So as an individual, as a product that is on its own, it's something that's really nice. So yeah, it's a W product, or W. Anyway, love you guys. Take it easy. Sorry for the weird review. We had a emotional day, but this is delicious. Really, really nice. Don't blink, it's your boy Ink. Welcome to the show. doing well, because I'm having a wonderful day on this 16th August 2025. We have 10 minutes before we have to go to the show, because this is the holiday. This is a celebration of my city, which is the Sheen. We're drinking Fago bubblegum, which is actually pretty good. Had a very emotional day today, and I want to talk about it. You see, I'm a person that's very thankful in life. I'm talking about my parents a lot lately, but and how thankful I am of my parents. They're very supportive. They're very helpful. They'll do small things to help out, which I really am grateful for. But lately, I've been having a problem with them, and I want to vent off to you guys. So if you were to skip a video, and if you love your parents, do not watch this video. If you were to judge me because of this video, you shouldn't, because this is a moment of weakness on a day of emotion. So, I 2 weeks ago lost the job that I had with the agency. As you guys know, I was working for the agency, but I left. So the person that I had, I'm not gonna say his name because it's not important, but I'm not gonna shame him. I told you guys before my my first time with the agency was actually really positive. My first agency guy, super kind, really had a good time with this guy. He was a angel in a world of you know what I mean, right? So the one I had, the first one, she wasn't serious. She wasn't serious at all. This guy that I had, the last one, was very serious, but he was very capitalistic. He was very you need to pay this, and it would be like, okay, well, you had this job, but I'm gonna give you a job that you make more. So the first time I said yes, and then the job was a contract of 1 week, and I was like, okay, well, now what am I doing? Said I don't know. But he made some money with me, because the way the agency work is how much I work, and like a percentile of that. And that was how it works. So then I waited for 2 weeks. I waited for 3 weeks for him to finally find me a job, and that job was another one where it was a smaller contract with higher pay. So the company, they'll do is they'll do a small contract, but they'll increase the salary. So why they do that is because I'm not gonna have you the whole year. So because I'm not gonna have you the whole year, most people will say, I don't want to do a temporary job. I want to do a job where there's a guaranteed pay. There's a guaranteed 40 hours a week, 25 hours a week. There's a guaranteed everything, right? It's not just about a small week of work. It's a long period of time, right? For example, winter's gonna be very hard because most of the company that's construction will close. So people want to have this job and they want to have this security of, hey, am I gonna be okay this winter? Am I gonna be okay if there's less work, right? They want stability, they want protection. They want this feeling of safety, which I didn't have with the guy. And every time he would send me somewhere, there's always a problem. There's always a problem. Like, hey, you need to do another place, you need to do another place. Now, there is this rule with agency that after 800 hours, you can technically apply for the company. Now, let's count it together. 800 hours, right? So it's 160 per month, right? At 40 hours. So 800 divided by 160 is about 320. It's 320. That's actually pretty easy. It's 5, because 320, 40, 20, 640. 640 plus 160 is 700. So it's 5.5, around 5.5, yeah. A bit more than 5.5 months of work, right? And for some reason, I would always do 4 months, and then I would be kicked out. So I had a really good job with the company of the food place, the food inventory, and for some reason, a person stole, right? And I knew who it was. I knew they were stealing. I went to see Jacob. Yes, I snitched. I said, this guy is stealing, bro. We're gonna be losing the contract. The reason why I snitched, you shouldn't snitch, first of all, but the guy was a thief. He wasn't selling because he needed it. He would steal salt shaker just for the thrill of it. First of all, there was only one guy that stole out of the 8. So my agency rep was like, don't forget who you're working for. Meaning, you're working for the agency, fuck the company, you're working with us, you have to be loyal to us. Which I sort of understand, but at the same time, morally speaking, this is wrong. You knew somebody was stealing, and you didn't do anything, because it's not your product. It's not your product. And then your goal is to make as much money as possible. And if this contract ends, it's on to the next one. You don't have a care for the contract, you don't have a care for the employees, and you don't have a care for the employer, right? Which is, again, the problem that I had with this guy. And with my father and my mom, since I'm a lone child, we're kind of very close. So I do speak about that. There's multiple reasons as to why the agency rep and I didn't see eye to eyes. Again, I'm all about loyalty. I'm all about respect. Treat people like you want to be treated. Treat people like shit. Don't ask yourself why they're treating you like shit. He didn't care. He had no loyalty. It was a very dog eat dog world, very shark world, very capitalistic. Money has value, but the people that work and the people I'm working for don't have value, which to me doesn't make sense. And I talked about I called the company because it was a really good company. I said, hey, listen, I know we ended up on bad term because one of my coworkers stole. I should have came to you. I should have told you. But I really like the company, and I really like working with you, and I think that you have a great company. And it did. It was a company that could have worked long term there. So then he said, okay, well, let me check with the agency, and I'll call you back because you were doing a good job. So I wait and wait and wait. This was 2 weeks ago. I wait a week and a half, and I call the guy again and say, hey, did you have any news? Because I'm still looking for a job. Again, hoping that I'm getting a job that is stable. So I'm going to be part of if I work there, I'll be part of the union in 3 months. We are August, September, November, okay? November. Oh, no, so sorry. August, September, October, never mind. I'm tired. Emotional, tired. Very drained emotionally. And I have to do it before November because November is when the contracts stop coming in for the winter. Understand? So I told my mom often, and then the boss was like, yeah, I called the agency rep. He said he didn't want to work. He had another job, which is not true. So I called the agency rep and I told him, why did you say that? Say, you working for me, you don't work for them. I should be mad at you because you try to go behind my back to find a job. And I'm, dude, temporary agency is supposed to be temporary. The goal here is to find a job, a long-term job, right? But again, if I don't work for him and I work for the company directly, the salary, there's no middleman. There's no agency rep to take a part of the money, which is why he had a problem. These are all problems that I talked to my mom about. And my mom, she always defend him, which is weird, but at the same time, I understand them. It's weird because I'm your son, first of all. Second of all, this guy's an asshole, right? You shouldn't defend the asshole. However, with my parents, it's been rough lately because I lost a job 3 weeks ago. And then again, both of them are very stressed, very nervous. For example, I asked for financial aid. And the financial aid, I'm not even going to take it because I don't work, right? Now, if I do work, like today, the guy called me. He said, you have 1 day of work. You want to do it? I said, yeah. I made an 8-hour shift, which is great. The reason why I asked for financial aid is because it takes about a month and a half to reach. If in a month and a half I didn't find a job, I'll need it. If in a month and a half I find a job, I won't be eligible for it. So even if I do make the demand, there's no point in there. And my mom, my father, they're very disappointed. They're like, yo, it seems like you don't work. It seems like you don't want to work. My father expressed to me the feeling that he feel like I'm lazy. So I don't have a good work ethic. My father asked me yesterday, are you going to be on welfare your whole life? First of all, I've never been on welfare. Second of all, if I don't pay the bills, what am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to ask you for cash? I'm supposed to ask mom for cash? No, I don't need you guys. I'm happy that you're here, but I don't need you on that level. So then what happened is, we had a role fight yesterday, and I got mad at him because I'm like, dude, these are not questions that you should ask. You're rude. And my mom, she feels like I'm not responsible. Now, why was this emotional day? Why am I kind of pissed off right now? Because they feel like I'm lazy. They feel like I don't work. But they don't know how much I work on social media. Is it paying the bills? No. Is it paying me at all? No. But this is my dream. I would see my son working on his dream as hard as I'm working. You guys know how hard I work. And I would say, listen, yeah, he's having a hard time financially, but he's a hard worker. He's not masturbating the whole day, which is, there's nothing wrong with that. I used to do it for sure. But now I'm working, so they don't realize that. They don't know how much I do. So they had this preconceived notion when I was younger and I would like to play games. I was fucking high on ADHD medication. I could barely function. And outside world I could barely talk. What do you want me to do? I'm to go play in the park? No, I'm gonna play games. I'm gonna watch TV. Cause I'm fucking a zombie. I feel like they don't understand. I think they don't care. You know? You don't have to believe in that dream. You don't have to believe in that dream. But acknowledge at least that I'm working hard. Acknowledge that at least I'm not doing anything. Acknowledge that there's a will to work. I've had 9 interviews. Now, I'm not a good interviewee. I'm a good person. Also, not a good worker, not a good interviewee. But I had interviews. They don't realize that. They don't know how many CV I posted. They don't know how many times I go per week on the website to find jobs. They don't know that. They assume that I don't. And because they assume that I don't, there's no trust. That hurts me. That hurts me. Am I doing 100%? No. You're right, I'm not. Because I'm doing 50% here, 50% in real life. They assume things. And they worry about me. I don't want to give up on my dreams because it doesn't work. But you never had a dream. My parents, I love them, but they never had a dream. They always were working for somebody else. They were always did it a 9 to 5. They never aspired to be something or someone. They don't understand. And they won't understand until I make money. They won't understand until I pay the bill. And the dream shouldn't be about the money. It shouldn't be about proving them that, hey mom, hey dad, I bought this new house. Fuck that. Hey mom, hey dad, I'm happy. Hey mom, hey dad, we reached 700 followers last week. Hey mom, hey dad, I did 90 hours of work just last week. Hey mom, hey dad, I broke my phone, didn't even call you for help. I don't have a job. You know how much I have in my bank account? I didn't call you for help. I had to buy a new phone, I didn't call you for help. There's a point in there that you should understand that maybe my son is doing okay. Maybe my son is doing something right. I don't know what he's doing, but he's doing something right. There's no trust. There's no trust in me. There's no trust in my will to work. There's no trust in how able I am as a human being. There's no trust in anything that I do. And it comes from a lack of knowledge of how much I work. My parents are like, hey, did you apply to some place today? They never ask, how much did you work on social media today? Did something good happen? They don't care. They don't have to care. They don't have to care. But if you care about my life and you want to see how much I work, it's all on the internet. It's all there. You just have to click on 12 letters. I'm there. You'll see how much I work. But you don't. Because you don't realize and you don't consider this as work. Anyway. I'm gonna go before I say something I regret. I love you guys. Fuck. October is something. Bam bam ba-dum ba-dum. Bam bam bam. Ba-da-dum-dum. I want your bones in my row. I'm sick of all of the time. I want you internet just to see you and die. I want you roll in my room. I'm watching all of the time. Good. I want you all in my room. I'm sick of all